Good morning, friends. This is your old girl, Melanie Rose, here to share your daily aspects. Today is Tuesday, February 8th, 2022, and the sun is in Aquarius as well as Saturn being in Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn traditionally and less traditionally by Uranus, sort of co parenting there. And so Aquarius really has a mind toward those Saturn themes of structural integrity, feeling stable, feeling supported, and also the responsibility we have to maintain those structures and networks that support us. But with Aquarius, the eye is more toward, looking at those structures of foundation, looking at those support networks, and not just seeing what we can do just to strengthen, but also seeing what changes need to be made so that not only am I supported and not only are my family members and the people closest to me supported, but like what can I be doing to make sure that everybody gets what they need? Because that's what Aquarius is interested in, is sort of being the rising tide that lifts all boats. So Aquarius invites us to see the world as being full of promise. And despite any disappointments or setbacks we may have experienced, good things are coming to us because of the work that we put in under the sun's transit through Aquarius. The moon is in Taurus today, and Taurus invites us to slow down and enjoy what we have. One way to do that is to be generous with others. Okay, so lend a helping hand in order to truly know the value of what you possess. Sometimes you've got to give it away now. And the moon is also at its first quarter phase. So this is the halfway point between the new moon and the full moon. And this is where we begin to execute our plans, do the work, right? Act on those intentions and plans that we have made. Okay, we're going to go over these planets very quickly. They're almost all here, and then we'll get into the aspects and some interpretation. The sun represents the outer life. This is who you are in your work, social, and civic sphere. The person that people first get to know when they meet you, who you are on the outside, sort of your conscious mind, and like your ego self. The moon represents your inner life. This is more about your relationship with yourself. It does also extend to the subconscious mind, so those things that even we're not always aware of about ourselves, and who we are in our domestic space at home and with whoever we're at home with. Mercury is on the page. Mercury represents the personal intellect. That is your day to day thoughts, plans, and communications that you make, as well as the running around that you do. Venus represents, where do I have Venus? Oh, right. Venus represents Taurus. Venus is the ruling planet for Taurus. And Venus represents love and money, or how do you relate to those people and things that you value the most? Mars represents your sense of initiative, whatever that fire is in your gut that gets you moving forward. Chiron is an asteroid and not a planet, and it represents your capacity for healing as well as what you're working on healing. Saturn, like I have said a million times by now, is about stability. It's about those structures and networks that we rely on for support and validation, and our responsibility toward maintaining them, toward keeping those networks strong for ourselves. Neptune asks, what is your relationship to the human collective? Uranus asks, what can you do differently? And Pluto brings us through sort of high highs and low lows of experiences, through deaths and rebirths, and such like that, so that through these experiences we're transformed, we get to evolve and grow up a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and get into these aspects. I have divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon sheds light on our inner life, and these very brief aspects have more to do with ambient energies that might affect your mood, your feelings, and sort of what you perceive on the inside of your life or in your home space. The sun sheds light on the outer life, and I address the rest of the planet's aspects here because they have more to do with what goes on in our outer life, as well as they take longer than those lunar aspects. So we begin with the sun side of the page today in Central Standard Time, friends. The sun makes a square with the moon at 7:50 a.m. So this is the aspect that indicates the culmination of this first quarter moon. It is a moment of transition where for the week before we've been setting intentions and making plans. Now for the week coming up, we're going to begin to act on those plans, refine our plans, and try to make some sort of culmination so that we have a reason to celebrate and appreciate around the time of the full moon a week from now. Symbolically, Sun Square Moon says that, our outer life and our inner life, our conscious and subconscious selves are a little bit at odds with each other. They're facing some challenges. So, the guidance I received when I was thinking about this morning was that when you work to fulfill your ambitions, doing the work, based on your plans, the rewards will come despite any lack of experience. So sometimes, we set intentions and we make plans and we're just like, I'm not sure if this is going to work because I've never done this before. Or I've only done this a couple of times. I've only seen other people do it, right? Go ahead and put the work in. And, maybe it won't come out perfectly the way that you wanted it to, but you will get a good result, okay? Then today at 8:57, Mars makes this trine with Uranus. Yesterday I talked about this and I said Neptune, but guys, I had taken a prescription muscle relaxer, so please forgive me for that. Mars in a trine aspect with Neptune. Where was I? It's not Neptune. That's Neptune. This is Uranus. Mars in a trine aspect with Uranus says that we are allowed to take the risk of changing our actions and approach. Our minds are sharp, our instincts at this time are on point, and any new actions or approaches that we make are likely to pay off. That trine aspect gives us a very positive, highly functional energy. Everything happens ideally under that sort of aspect. You might see some synchronicities or some coincidences, but just trust at this time, and this is about a 4-day aspect, that the actions you're making intuitively are probably on point, and they're going to pull you forward. In the ongoing column on the sun side of the page, we have Mercury in conjunct with Pluto through the 12th. So just a few more days on that one, friends, and this is the time to reflect on how Mercury conjunct Pluto has gone for us. Think about those conversations, those tough conversations you may have had to have with yourself or with others, just about the transformation that you're trying to undergo, the changes that the big, deep, total changes that you want to make in your life. Especially as it relates to how you relate to other people, your thoughts, words, actions, and the plans that you make. Those things don't happen in a vacuum. They're there to connect you with other people. So we're really transforming our approach to being in relation to other people. Let up on the need right now to have control over how that transformation happens. We've done a lot of work on it already. Celebrate what is already working for you. And, with that comes the reminder that what we think on grows. So whatever changes we've made, whatever transformations we know we've been through, especially when it comes to our ability to relate, focus in on what's been working for you and allow that to grow at this time. And also, here we are, day 3 of 4. Remember yesterday I couldn't remember whether it was day 2 or 3 of 4. Today is day 3 of 4 of Mars in a square aspect with Chiron. And yes, Mars can have aspects with different planets at the same time. Mars in a square aspect with the Chiron can have us feeling pretty irritable, even angry, especially in regards to things that hurt, especially those old wounds that we've not been able to heal or let up on or let go of. Sometimes when it's an old wound, like we try to push it down, it comes up and we just try to push it back down. This is asking us to take action on those old wounds, to have some initiative toward healing ourselves. But it's also saying that we're going to have some challenges there. That's what the square energy is. It says, it doesn't say this is a roadblock and don't go here. It's saying you might meet some challenges in your quest to have forward motion on your healing. And, you're going to have to face those challenges and kind of get through them. Take a deep breath, stop at the stop sign, look all ways, and drive forward. So remember, because when Mars is involved, sometimes we have a lack of compassion, we have a certain irritability, a certain selfishness. Just remember compassion and generosity as you seek innovative solutions. And when I say generosity, I'm not just talking about giving away money or giving away things. I'm talking about being generous with yourself and others in terms of, like if something you're doing doesn't work, you can be compassionate to yourself and you can say, okay, I'm going to give you that one. I'm going to forgive it. And we're going to move on with a clean slate. Okay, so be generous as you seek new ways to go about mending those old hurts. Okay, on the moon side of the page today, at 11:40 in the morning, the moon goes sextile with Neptune. So moon in aspect with Neptune makes us very sensitive. These are all going to be super sensitive aspects today. Moon in aspect with Neptune makes us very sensitive, especially to the vibe of people around us, how the people around us are feeling. And not just like in our home, although especially in our home, but like around us in our neighborhood, those people we interact with on the daily basis. May your extrasensory understandings make you bold in your relating. Okay, so this is an opportunity, especially with this sextile aspect, which is dynamic. It is likely to generate a positive outcome. So that says take some action, right? If you can, if you notice something going on around you, your instinct should be in the right place to be able to tell you, yes, this is the action to take, right? This is the way to mend my ability to relate to this person, or this is the in or the key to being able to relate to this person or just the people around us in general. Then at 7:48 in the evening, the moon makes a trine aspect with Mercury. So here we are with trine. Sextile is very positive. It generates good things. Trine aspects are harmonious. So synchronicity, coincidence, and ideal functioning are sort of the vibration that go there. So this is the heart and mind in aspect with Mercury. We want to communicate. We are almost psychic in our ability to understand what's going on around us and therefore communicate about it and make plans. Our heart and mind here are in accord. So our vision and our communications are very balanced. And it's good to enjoy this feeling of security, just knowing that, whatever I have to say from the heart, okay, whatever communications, plans, ideas that are coming from the heart, you can feel secure in the idea that that's going to work well for you, okay? Remember your compassion. Remember to be generous with other people and yourself, okay? To be compassionate for yourself. But, also understand that you've got this ideal functioning right now. So if there's something that you need to say from the heart, now's the time to say it, especially to those people we keep closest to us. And then in the evening at 10:48, a void of course moon makes a trine aspect with Pluto. So moon in aspect with Pluto, this is like a deep recall, a deep understanding has been gained, the potential to realize something we did not before, especially when it comes to something old or something that's in the past. Use this clarity of inner vision to cut through any BS and address your blockages, again, with honesty and compassion, okay? So this is really inner work. And of course, void of course moon means that this is the last aspect that the moon will make in the sign of Taurus before it moves tomorrow into the sign of Gemini. And during that time, moon is void of course till 4:30 in the morning. This is an ideal time to be engaging in our intuitive practices, doing our journaling, pulling tarot, paying attention to our astrology, or whatever it is that helps us get in touch with what's going on the inside, so that we can, this is part of this transformative process that we've been trying to go through. So, we can see clearly on the inside, we can see deeply, and it's a good time just to be able to cut past those blockages, to see them and see why and how they can be moved out of the way, or dissolved, or treated with more kindness, so that they're not such blockages. And use your honesty and compassion on yourself to do that. But also, the void of course moon is just an ideal time through tomorrow morning. I would really say that it starts here through 4:30 tomorrow morning. That you can be getting into those intuitive practices and just learning more about what your heart has to say, about what you intuitively, instinctually, psychically notice is going on around you and in your mind and in your heart, so that you can make some bold, clear approaches to doing things differently. Tomorrow, is it tomorrow? No, not until Friday will we see the second iteration of this Mercury conjunct Pluto. So Mercury went conjunct with Pluto a couple of weeks ago while it was in retrograde. It moved away from Pluto, but not that far away. And then it started to move back toward Pluto. They're still very close to each other, and that's why we've been discussing that energy. And then on Friday, which is the 10th, Mercury will go back to its exact conjunct with Pluto. They will overlap in the sky and sort of amplify one another's effects. And then for a couple days after that, we will continue to address it. And after that, Mercury will go into Aquarius, and Pluto will still be in Capricorn. And, never the twain shall meet again for a little while. So, celebrate the fact that this is about to let up on us, but also, keep doing that work, okay? Keep thinking about it. Keep it in your heart and your mind, especially. And then the full moon will come up next Wednesday, the 16th. And that will be a full moon in Leo. So, yay, that should be a lot of fun. Okay, that's it for today's aspects. I appreciate you all showing up to investigate these happenings with me. And if you are still here with me, go ahead and give me a thumbs up on my video, like it, subscribe, share it with somebody you think that it will resonate with. I do want to reiterate the influence of Saturn here, because really all of our efforts are about these foundational structures, the sense of stability and support that we have, and our ability to not just strengthen and maintain those structures, but also to shift them where they need to be shifted and replace parts that need to be replaced. Okay, so the sun is ruled by Saturn right now because it's in Aquarius, and the moon, Venus, is in Capricorn, so there is some Saturn influence there. Mars is in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. Mercury is in Capricorn. Pluto is in Capricorn. Here's Mars down here, okay? Mercury here. Venus ruled by Saturn there. Capricorn there. So again, you see all this Saturn influence on the page. We are very much still in the conversation of like how to feel supported and how also to help other people feel supported. And the words that keep coming back are compassion, generosity, be kind to ourselves and others, try to cut through whatever bullshit is coming up and getting in the way of our ability to make personal transformations so that we can make collective transformations. So keep that in mind. Saturn is our friend. Right here. There you go. Okay, so the tarot card that I have sitting on the side of the page here is the Six of Swords, and I believe It's tomorrow, yep, that we move to the Seven of Swords. So this has been the second 10 days of the sun's transit through Aquarius, as represented by the Six of Swords. And Six of Swords really represents giving yourself some space, especially from areas of conflict in your life. So it might be sad, it might not be fun to move away from those areas of conflict, because sometimes often those conflicts come up from the people that we wish to keep the closest to us. And sometimes you just don't get to keep somebody close to you, especially if they've been very unkind, or if you've been unkind to them, or you've been unkind to one another and you're just not able to get along. So, in that case, make some space, move away from the conflict, gain some perspective so that you can have these transformations and bring a little compassion and generosity to yourself and to the people you've been struggling with. As for today, I'm just going to remind myself in these cards that I'm shuffling that the sun is in Aquarius, as is Saturn, which rules Aquarius, that the moon is a first quarter moon in Taurus, which is very grounded feeling, very slow down, sort of sensual feeling. That we have this Saturn influence all over our page, and these repeated reminders just to to be kind to ourselves, to look within, to consult our intuitive resources and our own intuition as to how we can transform the way we relate to ourselves and others. And I see these really positive aspects down here with the moon this afternoon that will lead us into the void of course period. So this is going to be an ideal time to pay attention to what your extrasensory capabilities are telling you. Pay attention to what your intuition and instinct is telling you, and really sextile and trine aspects tell you to go for it. Whatever your instincts are telling you, it's okay to go ahead and make that change and take that action right now. And we have the Knight of Swords, so that's appropriate. The Knight of Swords really knows his stuff. He knows what he thinks. He knows what he believes to be just and true. And he is, they are, sort of speeding into the situation, ready to assist where they can assist and cut through the BS where they need to cut through the BS, right? So that's the Knight of Swords. Sometimes this card is a little bit of an invitation to, check yourself, second guess yourself a little bit, slow your roll. Okay, so it is an invitation to think about how you're walking into a situation, riding into a situation, rolling into a situation. Think about how you're coming to your relationships with other people, especially, and your relationship with yourself. But, when you know that your thoughts are in the right place, when you know your instincts are in the right place, when you know you seek transformation, this is a very go for it kind of feeling card. And that's all I have to say about that today, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Melanie Rose, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for more daily aspects.